set with the number in the studio 972-235-5555. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Once again, the number to call is 972-235-5555. If you want to get in touch with her beyond the show, you must offices. Once again, the number to call is 972-235-5555. If you want to get in touch with her beyond the show, you must take an appointment, and that number would be 972-361-0606. ahluwalialaw.com has plenty of information, and right now, if you have any questions related to employment and family-based immigration matters, family law, corporate law, civil matters, do give us a call. 972-235-5555, number in the studio. Good morning to you, Pallavi. How are you doing?
A wonderful morning to you. Doing very well. I'm glad to be here, part of your morning again on Wednesday with Your Business Matters. Meetu, thank you so much for hosting me, and so well as always. So I know we have callers who are already waiting. I don't have major updates currently, but if some come to my mind, I will definitely bring them on. At this point, let's just start taking calls.
Sounds good. Going to our first caller, and looks like we just dropped all the calls. All of them were coming together, and all of them quickly dropped it. 972-235-5555, number in the studio. All right, we're getting them back. All right. Going to our first caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, my I-400 application is in process, or N400. I was wondering, what is the outcome if I have to move from this place? How would that work?
You'll have to do an AR11, and that would be change of in the address, and the government would get that form. You can do that online, and once they have it, then they will reschedule or schedule your interview, as well as, have you had your fingerprinting already done?
Yes.
Okay, so then after that, they will schedule you for an interview, and that can be done at the location. I can tell you it does cause a little bit of a delay, and sometimes the files do slip through the cracks. That's just a warning to you. But if you are moving, you have to let the government know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your call. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, we completed our fingerprinting a month ago. How long it takes for the green card to be approved in general? The country of citizenship is Sri Lanka.
Okay, and what category are we talking about? Is it a current category?
Employer-based.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a current employer-based.
Is that EB2 or EB3?
EB2.
Okay, so your current category, you applied for your 485, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and after you applied for your 485, you've just had the fingerprinting, and that's it?
Month ago.
About a month ago? Yeah, I would say.
And we received our EAD cards and traveling documents too.
Okay, very good. At this point, I can only tell you to just wait, because it may take anywhere from 4 to 6 months for the 485 processing. As long as the dates remain current for your category, which is EB2 for rest of the world, which generally remains current up until, I'd say, August of the next year. So you should be okay.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Thank you for your call. Once again, for the listeners who are tuning in just now, this is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Number in the studio 972-235-5555. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
I mean, for the student base, and after that, it got married over here.
Okay.
Only the court paper is enough for the applying for the green card, or?
So are you getting married to someone who is a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, well, court papers, are we talking about you're just going to go and have a civil ceremony and not a religious one?
Not the is the religious one is important, or
Well, that does go, if that's the way that it happens. Of course, people get married civilly also, and that should not be an issue. However, there should be people present at the ceremony. So what the USCIS is looking to authenticate is the bona fide nature of your marriage, and for that, whatever it takes to build up the involvement of family and friends is always something they're looking for. So, but yes, if you were not to have a religious ceremony and just a civil one, that's not something that would get your case in trouble, but you would need more.
so with the transferring from the student visa to the marriage is not going to be a problem with the civil marriage only.
No, again, you need lots of bona fides of both you and your spouse together. As long as you have that, that should not be an issue. Also, you've been in the country, and for how long on the student visa? When was your last entry on student visa?
I'm on the student visa like almost 7 years.
Okay, and the last time you left the country and re-entered, when was that?
3 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, if you apply for an adjustment based on a...
And it's in the family, the marriage is going to be in the family. But we're planning to do the nikah in Pakistan like after 2018.
Yeah, but then you will be, to get the green card approved, you have to understand you will go through a lot of questions from the government, and it has to be where you and your spouse are living together. Okay, so you have to be able to prove that. So also you have to understand if this is somebody who's related to you, that may be an issue because Texas will not issue a license. If there is a relationship by blood, whether they are cousins or aunts or uncles on that level, so there may be other issues there. You may have to look at another state to get married in. So just bringing that to your attention, because we do see that when it happens in the family as to what that means. But my suggestion to you at this point would be whatever it takes to show that you're in a bona fide relationship is what would get your green card approved. So just if you're saying just a civil ceremony and nothing else, then no, then you would not have a good chance of getting through if they do have an RFE or in the interview.
So what should we have to have it to prove it?
Yeah, bona fides would...
Like bank account and all these things? So.
Yeah, and things of more personal nature too, that show both of you being together or living together.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call. Moving on to our next caller, Phanisha Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and please ask your question. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, this is Archana here. I got my green card through marriage, and that is expiring in April 2017 next year. When should I reapply? What is the time frame for reapplying?
It would be 3 months prior to its expiration. So, yeah. So you should be okay to apply for it in January or February.
Okay. And how long does it take to get the permanent residence card?
Yeah, so sometimes the government does take, I'd like to say about 10 to 13 months is what we're seeing with the 751s.
Okay, but is there any particular years you should be here on green card and then they apply a permanent, the citizenship visa, or what? How does it?
Yeah, okay. No visa for citizenship. That's just you taking on or becoming a U.S. citizen. What you're talking about is removal of conditions, which requires you at the 1.9 year mark for you to apply for the removal of conditions. While your case is pending, you may become eligible for citizenship, and it's okay at the 2-year 9-month mark from the time you started out your green card or your eligibility for your green card for you to apply for your citizenship as well, and both can be pending. You can have the 751 pending and you can also have the green card, the citizenship pending, which will make you eligible only at the 2.9-month mark, and that also has to show that you're living with your husband and you're in a bona fide relationship. So anything that proves that you're with him will push both of those things together for you to get your citizenship.
Okay, so does that mean after about close to 3 years, or maybe 2.5 years after first day of my green card, I should apply for citizenship or something?
No, only 2.9. 2.9 means 2 years and 9 months after you, where your green card says.
After I can apply.
Yes, where it says permanent residence since. From that date, you can count up 2.9 and 2 years and 9 months, and that's when you'll be eligible. However, you still have to remove conditions at before the green card expires. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you so much. Ahluwalialaw.com has plenty of information that is shared there. And if you want a private consultation, the number to call would be 972-361-0606. You do need to take an appointment. Going to our next caller, Phanesia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, I was just wondering, what are the fifth regional center and fifth non-regional center categories in employment based?
No, so that is the EB5 category. So EB5 is, so you're looking at the visa bulletin, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking at? Okay. Yes. So that's talking about the regional center, or when we're talking about the $500,000 investment or $1 million investment that gets people a green card, that's what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, thank you.
All the best.
Thank you for your call. Moving on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question. For some reason, we are dropping the calls, but nonetheless, give us a call back, 972-235-5555. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a question on my sibling green card application. So I am a U.S. citizen, but I want to know. When can I apply for my brother's green card processing? And I'm born in Indian origin. So how long it will take? But the person is in U.S. currently on a different visa. So would that be a chance to get sooner, or it has to go through the same process? So
it does go through. It does go through the same process because you're looking at the fourth category on the family-based petitions, which is the fourth preference category. For Indians, the date on that currently for people who are getting their green cards is 15th of February of 2003. Okay, so their presence in the country only slightly helps them, and that's, if you look at the chart for early filing of the 485, that's where they can be perhaps helped towards the end, and that has a year's advantage or so. Okay, so that means if they are maintaining status and they're in the country, right now people are finally getting green cards in 2003, but people from India that are here and have to apply for the adjustment of status, for that date is May 1st of 2004. So there's a slight advantage, not a complete going past the line, just a little advantage to be able to apply for an adjustment. But yes, it's about a 13-14 year wait.
okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Office. Going to our next caller, Phanesia Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please. Phanesia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question. All right. This is a silent caller here. Maybe we can go to our next caller, Phanesia Radio. You're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi. So I'm on I-130 visa and employer is willing to file GCC. Is there any other way that I can get around and get it filed?
They're planning on so I understand your employer is filing your green card for you, but under what category? I didn't understand.
Well, I'm on L1A, so it'll be in category, and it's not willing to.
Yeah, I can't hear every other word, sorry. So I'm going to assume that you're saying if it's L1A that you're going to be filing under the EB1C, correct? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's your fastest way because that's the current category for India, EB1.
Okay, no, I'm saying my employer is not willing to file that. So
he's not willing to. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so they're not willing to file you under the EB1C or not willing to file you for a green card at all. What is the issue?
Yeah, they are not willing to file at all until my 5 years are getting over.
Okay.
They want to wait for
Okay. Yeah. So there is not anything that you can self-file for at this point unless you're qualified for an EB-1A, which is an extraordinary ability alien that has national prizes or international acclaim, and has publications and other things like that. So that's the only self-filing category that I can think about. But for the EB-1C, you do need the employer support. Any other EB-based categories, you do need employer support.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
All
all
right.
the best.
Thank you for your call. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, I'm going to India this October end on H4 EAD. Do I have to carry my employment letters, any letters, signed letter, and
So you're
letter?
yeah, no, I would just take some current pay stubs from your husband. Okay, just make sure that he's in. You don't want. Are you going to go stamping too, or you just have a stamp on your?
I'm going to the for stamping, not my husband.
Okay, so you have to just make sure. So a lot of times at the consulates, they audit the spouse's file through yours. Okay, so meaning the H-1Bs get audited through the H-4s, which means that the husband's petition, if is he in a job that requires him to change projects or move around, or no?
I don't think so, but I'm working on H4 EAD.
Yeah, that's fine. But all I'm trying to tell you is just make sure that your husband's LC and everything falls in line with where he is, because your position may not be that much of a concern because you're a dependent, but they do audit the primary applicant, which is the H-1B, their H-1B when even H-4s go for processing. So I'm just asking you to just be mindful about that and just carry his pay stubs just to establish that he's maintaining status, so that indirectly you are too. Okay, and having your pay stubs is also important, just to show that since you had your H4EAD, you've been working now. It's not a requirement that you work. That's the reason I don't put that in such a high priority, but I would definitely put your husband's filing on priority, because that's what they can ask you for also.
Okay, thank you.
All the best.
Thank you so much for your call. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I'm on OPT. But can I file a green card, like on employment based green card first, then I can file a H1? Can I do this? As I'm on the, Saudi born, so is it fine that?
Yeah, so what you're saying is that you're because of your country of birth, you are a current priority date. Now, which category would your employer be filing under, EB2?
Yes, EB2.
Okay, and how long is your OPT valid for? Do you have STEM options? You have it up until for 3 years? Okay, very good. Okay, so for 3 years you should be okay. So the only concern is that once you have your I-140 approved, and you try and go back into an F1 status, go stamping or step out of the country or anything like that, and if they understand that is a conflict with your F1 intention or the intention to leave the country, right? So that's my only concern. However, if everything can be done seamlessly, and you're a current category, you should be okay in 3 years to be able to adjust as well.
The thing is, like, if you file a green card for that, right? Then can I also file a H1 next year in the April?
Yes,
I'm starting the process now.
Correct, you can. So the H1 is something that is on the non-immigrant status. It gives you non-immigrant status. Now, the green card is a parallel process, and that kind of is overarching over all your non-immigrant statuses. So even if you had that apply, that should not, that will not impact you. My only concern when I say that to anybody that's on an F1 is your immigrant and non-immigrant intent is very important. So if you were to resume your F1, you'll have trouble once you have a green card that's just in a pending stage. Of course, if you get it to adjust and you're done, so if you're looking at just as a math, and if you have 3 years available to you on your OPTs combined with the STEM, then yes, within 3 years, EB2 category born in Saudi, you do have an option to adjust maybe in a year and a half.
Okay. And one question is, like, one of my friends, I-140 is approved with one employer A, and but he's working for employer B. But employer A is holding I-140. So, and it's a priority he comes, like let's suppose 2018, his priority is there. So do we need to file a green card again with employer B, or he can be just keep the green card with an employer A? Means that he
So if there is only if A is willing to offer him the permanent employment when he files for his adjustment, can he be with employer A? Otherwise, if he's moved to employer B or employer number 2, then the employer number 2 has to get the case approved up until the I-140, which means do the recruitment, do the PERM, get the I-140 approved with the older priority date, and then be able to give him the job offer letter, which he will have to include with his 485.
Employer A said he's not going to remove or he's not going to do anything for that I-140. He's going to just keep that I-140.
Yeah,
he said that.
Yeah, the requirement is not a revocation or a withdrawal. The requirement is support, and support requires a letter of permanent employment from employer number A at the time the category gets current, so that the adjustment can be filed.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you for your call. Probably our last caller here, Phanesia Radio, you're live on the air. Very quickly, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Yes, I was checking, like, we applied for my mother-in-law. I'm a citizen, but my husband is a green card holder. And twice it was denied. And the reason she's telling, she's in India. The reason she's telling is that they asked the question, like, how many kids she has. So she has 2 sons, one in India, one is here in America. And they said, why can't you stay with the son back in India? Why you have to go there? And she said, for that reason, they denied her visa. Is that true? Could be happen like that? And what we should be doing?
Yeah, so are we talking about her applying for a B1, B2 that got denied, correct? Or are we talking about a green card that got denied because of this reason?
Green card.
That is very unusual. They have no right to ask that question, that why does she have to move to the US if there's a US citizen child who's applied that's an immediate relative, his parent. But yes, a B1, B2 can definitely be denied on a discretionary basis by the consulate and the officers, and they can say, okay, maybe you don't want to come back here, or things like that. So just make sure whether this was a denial on the green card, because green card, they cannot deny it on this reason. That is just absolutely not allowed to them, because this is an immediate relative category which is of the highest priority.
Yeah, because he's a green card holder, and I don't. He said maybe because
No. So let's back up a little bit. And again, I think you may need some time. Either you can call me back here on the radio next week, or we can talk later. But you have to understand one thing real quick. If your husband is a U.S. citizen, is the only way he can apply for his mom's green card. As a green card holder, he cannot. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if he's a U.S. citizen and he's applied for his mother, the consulate cannot refuse her the immigrant visa, which is the green card, based on the fact that they have another son that is located somewhere else. That is not of their concern. So there is some other issue at play here, which I can't understand in this time, but I would say that just explore it a bit more. Okay?
Yes, I'm very sorry, but we are running out of time. Get in touch with her, 972-361-0606, or else give us a call next week on Wednesday when she'll be here once again between us. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for coming here and doing this show as always.
Thank you, Neetu, for hosting me so well. Look forward to being back next week.
Absolutely.